All right, let's jump right into a really fascinating idea, something that's kind of hiding in plain sight. It's so common, we barely even notice it. I mean, what if one of the very first words you ever learned, a word you probably use every single day without a second thought? What if that word was actually one of the most essential building blocks of the entire English language? I know, it sounds a little dramatic, right? But believe it or not, the data really backs this up. Okay, so what is this super important, super simple mystery word? Let's just pull back the curtain. The word is week. Yep, that 7-day cycle that, let's be honest, pretty much runs our lives, our work, our rest, everything. It just seems way too simple to be that important, doesn't it? We all know what it means. It's just a countable period of 7 days. Super straightforward. But, and this is the cool part, that very simplicity is exactly what makes it so incredibly powerful. Okay, and this is where things get really, really interesting. Turns out the word week is part of a, well, let's call it a very exclusive club. So, for starters, it's one of the 1,000 most common words in English, which, that's impressive on its own. But honestly, that is just scratching the surface. Because there's another list out there, a list that's even more fundamental. We're talking about a core vocabulary, a set of words so powerful they're designed to be enough to explain, well, pretty much anything. And guess what? The word week made the cut. It's on something called the Basic English 850 list. This is a hand-picked collection of just 850 words considered absolutely essential for clear international communication. Just think about that number for a second. 850. Out of more than 1 million words in the English language, the concept of a week is considered one of the core 850 that you absolutely have to have. So that kind of begs the question, right? What are the qualifications? What does a word need to have to be considered that fundamental? Well, to be a basic word, a term has to be super clear, with no ambiguity. It needs to do one job and do it well. Basically, it has to have a really simple, definable anatomy. And week? Oh yeah, it fits the bill perfectly. It's a noun, it's countable, 1 week, many weeks, and its job is to be a unit of time. These clear attributes give it incredible utility. There's just no room for confusion. Or is there? Because even with a word this basic, the English language just loves to throw a curveball at you. And that curveball is its homophone. The word week, as in W-E-E-K, sounds exactly the same as weak, W-E-A-K. A 7-day period versus lacking strength. Totally different ideas, but they sound identical. And this distinction is actually critical. The fact that it has a homophone shows that even for these super basic words, context is absolutely everything. The meaning has to be crystal clear, even when there's this potential for a mix-up. All right, so let's zoom out. The big reason week is on that special 850 list is because the idea of a week is just completely universal. In fact, the concept is so fundamental to us as people that we find a word for it in at least 85 different languages. It's a core way that we humans organize time, no matter where we are on Earth. For instance, in French, you've got semaine. Over in Germany, it's Woche. In Spanish, it's semana. In Japanese, they say shu. And in Russian, неделя. You see the pattern here, right? The word itself changes, but that core concept of a 7-day cycle is a constant in human culture. And all of this leaves us with one last, kind of mind-bending question to chew on. If you can communicate something as important as the week so simply, and if you can explain almost anything with just 850 basic words, what are all the other words for? What do they add? Nuance? Poetry? Complexity? Definitely something to think about.